Hey there. Okay, let's talk. So, a few years ago, I started doing something by taking people's testimonies and I would put them in print and I would use those as a ministry tool. I would hand those out at people at the bus stops or, on the fly somewhere, and I give somebody a little flyer, and somebody's testimony about the goodness of God. Well, Lord told me last week to print out some. Actually, I think it was Monday. And so he told me to print out 10 of them. And I printed them out, and I didn't get all 10 done because I had to go somewhere. But I had about 5 of them. I grabbed one, put it all together, and I put it in the truck. I felt like I needed to put one in the truck just in case I ran across somebody the next day or so before I finished the rest of them. So it's in the truck. Everything is cool. Sorry about that. So now I go to the grocery store, and I'm in the grocery store, and I get in a long line. It's kind of stretched out back there. I'm in the very back of the line. Now, I'm going to do this as discreetly as possible. But for those of you who live on the West Coast, you know that there's a certain race of people that don't really do well with black folks for whatever reason. So the lady behind the register is from that race. Okay? And what she does is, I guess she's coming off a break, and so she goes into her register. There's about 4 people in front of me, about 2 with baskets and 4 people, so I guess they're all together. But so it's about 2 baskets in front of me with people, and she goes up to the front to them, tells them something, walks right back in front of me after we get eye contact, doesn't say a word to me, and goes over and opens up a new register, and those people follow her over. So I was like, that's kind of interesting. And why didn't you tell me also whatever you told them, so I could have the option of going to this new register instead of standing in this long line? Then I said, oh, wait a minute, she's of that race that usually has a little issue. So I said, oh, well. Then I looked up in front of me, and now there was nobody in the line. There was one person who was checking out. So I was up next to get to the register. And I said, well, something must be wrong here. So I asked the people who moved over to the other aisle, and I said, listen, is she shutting down or something? They said, no, as far as we know, the lady just came over and told us to move over to her aisle. So I said, okay. So I walked up, and next thing I know, my groceries, I'm in the very back of the line 1 minute, but the next thing you know, now I'm in front of the register. Now, before I was saved, I would say, look at that, racist, you favoring your own people. But now that I am saved, I say, look at that, racist, you're favoring your own people. But God says he works all things to my good. And it was evident because now them same people are still standing in line behind each other while I'm checking out my groceries. So it may look like it was racism, and it probably was, but God really set it all up so that I could be blessed to get through the line quicker, because he cleared out everybody in front of me and I was up next. Why is that important? Because while I'm checking out my groceries, I'm bagging them up. I they have the self-bagging thing, so I'm bagging up my groceries, and there was a gentleman, and he said, I beat you. And I said, huh? Not realizing what he was talking about, but then I realized, he meant he beat me bagging up the groceries. He said, yeah, I kind of do things like this, make little things of myself and have little competitions on my own. People don't even know what I'm talking about. So I was like, yeah, I do that sometimes too. It makes life interesting. Just see if you can beat somebody or something, even though they don't know that you're racing them. So I didn't think much of it. The guy went out the door. He told me, take care. I said, take care too. I come out to the parking lot, and his car is parked about 1 space from mine. And he says, hey man, I see that vehicle you're driving. I had one of those too back in the day. I said, yeah, mine's an 18, it's almost got 200,000 miles on it, man. He said, yeah, you guys been rolling. And I noticed he had on a guide shirt, or a hat. And so I said, hey man, listen, I got these. And I went to the car and grabbed that one testimony pamphlet that I had. I said, I passed these out. These are testimonies from people, and I use those as a ministry tool. And so if you know somebody that doesn't know the Lord, you ain't got time to talk to them or something, you can just give them this. He said, oh, thank you, man. I appreciate it. And you have a good day now. You take care of yourself. And so I drove off, and he drove off. Moral of the story. Number one, be obedient when God tells you to do something. He told me to print out those things like on a Monday and to just take the one that I had and put it in the car. Even though I had others, he just told me to take one and put it in the car, so I did it. 2, use discernment. When things happen that don't look like you're being treated properly, know that God has a plan. It may not look good, but you're going to win because you're his child. And that's exactly what happened. She may have mistreated me by pulling all her people over and leaving me, but in the end, I beat all them people out the store, right? And I didn't raise a ruckus or nothing because I was using discernment, realizing this, hey, I'm getting blessed because now I'm getting my stuff checked out. They're still standing back there in line, right? So, yeah, there could be racism, but it don't matter because I'm still going to be blessed. I'm always going to benefit from anything the devil tries to do, okay? So there's no excuse now for you to be saying racism anything, because if you're a child of God, everything that happens in your life is going to be to your benefit, no matter what it looks like. So now you can't claim racism anymore. Anyway, 3, that pamphlet was for that man. And God saw that back on Monday, that I was going to have that interaction with that man. And he arranged everything by pulling me up close to the line so I could check out at the same time he did. And he parked his car next to mine, one over, so we could have that moment, a godly moment, where he could get that testimony pamphlet. You see? So everything was orchestrated by God way back on Monday. Here it is Thursday. So, once again, know that you belong to God. 2, all things work to your good. For those that love the Lord. So it doesn't matter what it looks like. Even if it looks like racism, it's still going to work to your benefit. So stop claiming racism, but claim God. I got you? Then just remember that when God does something, that he's doing it, and it's not only for you, but it's really for other people. You know, it's other people that need to hear and see a walking testimony. Okay? Because that may be the only time that they actually see anything about God is watching you. All right. Anyway, I just wanted to pass that on and let you know that God's got everything in his hands, and not to be perturbed or moved by what's going on. It's going to work out to your favor if and because you belong to him. All right. Have a good one.